There's a threat to our global education. This is a focus too heavily reliant on things like technologies, procedures, and practices. Procedures and practices aren't going to teach our kids. Technology is not going to force them to succeed. There is one key determining factor to student success. It's been proven over 100 years of research and through hundreds of millions of dollars of study. One of these studies is of John Goodland from UCLA. He did a 40-year study, a 40-year span, thousands of students, right? He concluded that the one key determining factor to student achievement is the teacher's effectiveness. The effectiveness of a determined teacher is the way that he put it. Another great study was done over 11,000 students in the period of 50 years. 11,000 students in 50 years. This study concluded 28 key factors to student success. The number one factor that they found was classroom management. Classroom management is a tool that effective teachers use everywhere in order to help students succeed. Another great study was done in 1998, a $500 million study in 1998. Put that together in an aspect real quick. It's 1998, $500 million are used for this study. They concluded that the only way that they could monetarily help or invest in anything in the school that would improve student success was the teacher's effectiveness. So it didn't matter if they bought a new library, it didn't matter if they created a whole new technology system for the school. The one thing that they could invest their money into that would help students succeed was effective teachers. Sustained opportunities for professional development was the way that they put it. They want these teachers professionally developing themselves throughout their career so that they can teach the most successful students. Now, we know all of this about effective teachers and student success, their direct correlation, direct links. What can we do to get effective teachers in the classroom? How can we create effective teachers? It all starts at the top. The second most key determining factor in student success is the principal. The principal is the effective leader of the school system. They set boundaries and guidelines, they set the professional attitude, the atmosphere, and they hire the teachers. Because even if they hire an effective teacher, if the school is ineffective and the principal is ineffective, the effective teacher students will still succeed because it all comes down to that effective teacher. Principals, administrators, they need to understand the importance of effective teaching on student success. So they've got to do things like include induction programs for brand new teachers. These induction programs are a sort of mentorship for new teachers. They're paired up with colleagues and other professional teachers who are tenured, who have years and years of experience, and who show great student success through their effective teaching methods. So they get to essentially learn from these teachers in their first years of study. Something that's very important, not only for the principals, but for teachers themselves, is to professionally develop throughout their career. It doesn't end with the induction program. You don't do this for a year or two and decide, I can teach now, I know everything, because it just doesn't work like that. You have to professionally develop yourself through the entirety of your career in order to be an effective teacher, in order to have successful students. Hong Kong is a great example of this. So in Hong Kong, worldwide, they are one of the best school systems every year. It doesn't matter, it's consistently in the top. So what Hong Kong does is their teachers gather together in teacher-led study sessions. They determine what lessons were most effective on their students. They determine objectives that they're wanting to meet, how student success looks in their classrooms versus other classrooms. Essentially, they gather together to be the best that they can be. They want to study and research and understand how to be a greater effective teacher in order to focus on student success. So I'll end with, again, just that direct correlation between the effective teacher and the student's success. We have to have a higher focus on things like student success, like classroom management, and like professional development. Thank you very much.